Good morning, YouTube friends and family. Len on the Matthew 4:19 channel. I want to talk a little bit about Jesus and his trial. There's an account in the Gospels where basically Pontius Pilate pulls him aside and asks him, if he is who he says he is. And at one point, I believe this is in Luke's Gospel, Jesus said, "All those who are of the truth hear my voice." And Pontius Pilate mockingly asked him, "Truth, what is truth?" And he walked away. It's interesting that Pilate had the very man in front of him who was truth in the flesh. Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." Those are the words of Christ. Pilate had the truth standing in front of him. And Pilate asked him, "What is truth?" And instead of waiting for an answer, he walked away. Fast forward 2,000 years and we still see that the godless are asking that same question. What is truth? They don't have an answer. They don't have an account for it. And it's because of your foundation. Matthew chapter 7, the end of the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus gives this parable. Starting in verse 24, Matthew 7, Jesus says, "Therefore whoever hears these sayings of mine and does them, I will liken him to a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock. But everyone who hears these sayings of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it fell, and great was its fall." The reason you can't account for truth as an atheist or in any godless worldview is because of your foundation. Christ is the rock that you need to be standing on to be able to account for anything. Jesus Christ is the necessary precondition for intelligibility, for knowledge, for logic. You know all those things. And it's because you haven't repented and put your trust in Him. And it's not until you do so that you will have any of the answers, any of the questions that you have answered about what is truth. You'll never have that answer until you have Christ. So until you repent, you will always be standing on a foundation of sand. And the winds in this parable that Jesus is giving, the winds, the floods, the rain, these are all a picture of God's judgment. God's judgment is coming. And if you're built on the sand, you will fall, and great will be your fall. So repent and turn to Christ today, the crucified creator of all things, who's coming back.